Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another session of Chief Artisan Thursday. And this evening, I'm in the studio with
Shannon Williams.
And Shannon has stopped by. Well, actually, I had to drag her in, y'all. And we're going to start a new series and a new session for small business owners. And I asked Shannon to go ahead and introduce herself. So go ahead, Shannon.
Hi, I'm Shannon Williams, and I'm a wife, a mother, an educator, a pastor, and an author. My passion, of course, is my family. I've been married 19 years this year, and I have 2 children, a boy, Emmanuel, and a girl, Victoria Faith. My son is 12, and my daughter is 4.5, soon to be 5. I'm an educator. I work for Harvey Public Schools, and I've taught a number of grades, pre-K, kindergarten, 2nd grade. Now I'm a reading specialist where I work with struggling readers, 3rd through 6th grade. It was an honor this past school year, this school year actually. I was nominated and selected as Educator of the Year for my school district, so that was an honor and a privilege for me. My husband and I pastor together a church. The name of it is Anointed and Appointed Full Gospel. And recently we purchased a building on the south side of Chicago, and we're renovating. It's an old building with a lot of potential, but we're renovating it. And then I'm an author. I've authored 3 books. First book is a children's book, and it's called School Rules. And I wrote that book because I noticed that I had a lot of students coming in that were very, very bright students, but they had trouble learning the rules of school. And so behavior kind of got in the way of them excelling at the rate that they could. So I wrote a little simple book called School Rules. And what I love about the book is it's a multicultural book, and it's also multi-ability level. So you have children, and even one of the teachers has special needs. So that children can start gaining respect for those that are different.
Awesome.
Yes.
Before we go down the professional path,
yes,
I want to tell our audience that we go way back.
Yes.
So just like Dr. Camille Quinn, who we've had the privilege and honor to have her in the studio, Shannon and I actually go back to high school.
High school.
High Longwood ladies. And I wanted to take this episode to introduce you to her family side and her, the informal side of small business owners, so that and you're inspired by what she does, that you can do it also and keep it going and keep it moving. So Shannon, before we go down that, professional path, let's make a pit stop for, what gets you motivated. I know we say Monday is like the humdrum kind of day. For us, it's not that way. So why don't you tell us where you find your motivation?
Well, I find my motivation in the scripture. To me, Monday is not the Monday blues. It's highly motivated Monday. Because it's another opportunity to bring glory and honor to the Lord through my work and whatever God has me to do for that week. And so the start of the week actually is Sunday, and Sunday we spend with the Lord in His house. And so I'm motivated through the prayer, the praise and worship that has taken place the day before, and also on Monday morning. So that's my motivator.
I know you as a pastor deal with a lot, and that's even another avenue we're going to talk about later in the blogosphere, because there's just so much to discuss. But one thing I want to find out from you is, okay, Sunday is over.
Yes.
Monday, it's time to hit the road. Where's your mind? How do you plan your day? Let's just go there.
Yeah. I wake up Monday mornings, and it is a busy time in my house, getting the kids ready and getting everyone out and on a timely basis. And so I'm praying on the way to dropping my daughter off, because my son is picked up. And so that time, just that time in the car, and I have her join in. So just that time in the car to pray and ask the Lord to focus, me and to be with me in my day and to lead and guide me. And then at that time, once I drop my daughter off, then I start thinking about my day and what do I need to do first, and just taking a deep breath and really leaning on the Lord, because it can be a bit stressful when you think about everything that you have to do in a certain amount of time. And so I'm asking God to lead and guide me every step of the way and be with me. And He always does. And if I didn't know Him, I don't know where I would be. But I'm thankful that He does. He leads and guides me what to do first, what to do next. And I try to do all that I have to do on my plate speedily, get it done so I can go to the next thing. So that's kind of
okay. Yeah. Let's go even further into family and home life. And one of the reasons why we reconnected, outside of social media,
yes,
is that one of your children, has been diagnosed with
autism.
And also, how did you? Let's take a step back and how you kind of. That's the end road of that session, but that's not where it began.
Right. Well, my son was born, he's 12 years old now, so he was born premature, weighing 2 pounds, 13 and a half ounces. He could literally fit in the palm of my hand. His diapers could fit inside of a sandwich bag. And so at any rate, he was diagnosed at the age of 3, but the reason why I told you about him being a preemie is because you give preemies a little bit more time to catch up developmentally. And by me being a teacher, I knew the developmental milestones, and I'm watching his development, saying that he didn't meet this, he didn't meet that. But I'm still hopeful because I know that it takes preemies a while to catch up. So by the time he got to be 3, the pediatrician, his pediatrician, suggested that we take him to the neurologist to see what was going on with him. And we took him to the neurologist, and that's when the neurologist diagnosed him with autism. That's all in the book too, because that was a very trying and testing time. That whole thing was. And I remember coming home and my husband being so upset, he just balled up in a fetal position in the bed and just cried. And we both were teary-eyed, but we didn't have any direction or any hope at that time. And so that's kind of why autism is near and dear to my heart, and that's kind of why I've become more vocal about it, because I want to be a support to parents that have children being diagnosed, give them some direction and give them some hope in their journey.
Okay. So what was the next step, in this 12-year continuing?
Well, we didn't get much direction or much hope, so I kind of went on a journey of trying to figure out what to do next. I began to look for support groups, mm-hmm. and I attended some support group sessions, which were helpful because it helped me to connect with other parents that knew exactly what I was going through. Some parents could give advice. But I noticed that the missing factor of all of the support groups, and we also did walkathons and different things, that they were missing that hope factor. They didn't have the hope, and that's where I said, Lord, I want people to have hope, because it's not the end of everything.
So your groups it's not that they didn't have active participation, mm-hmm. but there's no focus on believing for something better.
That's right.
Okay, mm-hmm. All right.
That was the missing factor. And I went to a lot of different support groups. I perused support groups in the South Suburban area of Chicago. I went to some that were near downtown, some on the north side, just to kind of get a feel of different groups and meet different people and kind of get active in the community. And that was the missing factor.
Okay, mm-hmm. Awesome. My thinking in all of this, let's point to that place of where does a parent who may think their child is developmentally, something's going on, you don't want to put them in a panic mode, but you want to look out for these signals. What would you advise them?
Watch your child closely. And sometimes it's difficult for parents because, like with our son Emmanuel, that was our first child, and so we didn't have a basis of comparison to like, a lot of parents compare their children with their former children. Oh yeah, he did this by this age, that age. And so if you have any suspicions, like for example, if your child is not giving you good eye contact, or you see some behaviors that you're concerned with, most definitely talk to your pediatrician. The pediatricians are so different than what they used to be like, but really the way it's designed, pediatricians are supposed to track the developmental milestones of children. They're supposed to keep an eye on it, and a lot of times they don't these days, and so parents have to be proactive. And if you have any sneaky suspicions, behavior, maybe your child is not able to socialize the way that other children socialize, maybe the child isn't talking by the age of 18 months to 2 years old, take your concerns to your pediatrician and be an advocate for your child and say, I'm concerned about my child's development. What should I do? And they should be able to direct you.
Awesome. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with more Chief Artisan and talking to Shannon about her road down writing the book and eventually publishing. So stay tuned for that.